Okay, my camera cut out on me because it was like, get your shit together, woman. Hi everyone! Today I'm going to go down to my campus to take graduation photos, hence the super extraness. I don't think I'm going to be attending my actual graduation ceremony in November, just because it's super far away from now. Like if you finish your courses in April, your graduation's in May, but when you finish your courses in June, your graduation's in November, and it's like by then you're gonna be doing other stuff, and it's not gonna be fun to like open that page again and be like, oh, I'm graduating now, like 6 months later. I'm just gonna go take photos today, and also because I'm bored. It's like only been 3 weeks since I finished school, but yeah, I've been procrastinating a lot of stuff, so I'm just gonna go take photos. I'm gonna do that, and then I'm gonna offer a bit of a campus tour of UBC, just because my sister's in first year and she's all like, you need to show me and blah blah blah, and I was like, I'll just make this video and hopefully help out more than one person. I actually think you will be fine. Like I think you will memorize the entire like UBC like building scape in like 2 days. I'm honest, like I just think like once you get in the building you get lost AF. Like I'm just like, where are these rooms? But like once you're outside, everything within like a week you should be an expert, just because I really don't think it's like a very complex campus. So you can kind of think of UBC as a rectangle, like from the Rose Garden to Forestry Building, and then from like swing space to the nest, like that's all where you're gonna be, unless you're a med student and your building is kind of like a block down from the Forestry Building. But other than that, it's literally just in a rectangle, and then there's like a condensed area where all the food kind of is. It's right beside the nest, so it's just like food, if you can think of it, like food, and then like arts buildings, and then the library, and then business and math, and then science, and then forestry and engineering. So yeah, people typically, not always, are in more so one area than the other. I found I was a bit everywhere, which was kind of nice because you get to like explore the campus, but like, yeah. Just to keep going, places I've always studied at. Let me reframe that. And that would be IKB, Walter C. Corner Library, outside of Peter Allard, and in the Nest. So in the Nest are like each floor would have like seats by the windows, and I would study there sometimes. And if I were to rank them, I would say go study at IKB if you can. It gets super busy, but they have these segregated rooms where they're called quiet rooms, and like literally you cannot type loud, you cannot open a bag of chips, like it's like serious shit, and like you just sit in there and everyone's just like working, and that's quite motivating. But I also find sometimes I get a bit like anxious in that situation, because then I'm like, everything I do I feel like is like magnified by 100 times. Like I touch my hand and it's just like, it sounds so loud. So I usually, if I'm feeling that way that day, I would typically go to study at the Nest, because it's quite like, it's almost like working at a cafe, because everyone's just there and like talking, and it's like nice if you want to disappear into a crowd and like study, and like, you know, no one's looking at you. I would recommend the Nest. Some people hate the Nest for studying, but sometimes I really love it because you can just literally pretend like you don't exist. It does get a bit loud, but if you have like noise canceling headphones, like you're fine. And Walter C. Corner Library, I studied there like once in my first year and I didn't like it. There are a lot of people that love it. I see a lot of people in there, but I just found like it was a bit like the vibes were a bit weird. It felt like a real like archaic library, and I just didn't, it wasn't my cup of tea. So I've not been back since. And the Peter Allard law building, there's like seats inside of it that you could study at, but I also found it was a tad bit too serious for me. Like the lighting is really dark in my opinion, and there's like rarely anyone really there, so it just felt like really lonely. And I'm someone like, I need a balance, like I just can't be like totally alone when I study, because then I get a bit like lonely and I feel like I can't study as well. Like I like seeing other people study because then it motivates me, So I didn't really study there. I studied there for like a bit, like in my first year, and then ever since then I've never really been back. But yes, those are the best places to study in my opinion. I feel like other people have like these awesome secret spots they study at, but I just don't know any of them. So I'm not going to divulge any secrets for people that have their own secret study spots. But yeah, those are the best ones in my opinion, and they're very basic. Like if you talk to any UBC student, I'm sure they'll mention one of those, because I don't think there's much else. But just remember, you'll be fine. The campus, you'll master it in like literally flat 2 days. It's just in the buildings always that trip me up, so I can't give much advice on that. Look at the panels, ask around. I've like been to people's offices being like, where am I? So don't be afraid to like ask, because I don't know, it's a huge building and people are very forgiving and you might make a new friend. So yeah, that's my 5 cents. Bus stops, aquatic center. Here is the Life building, which is adjacent to the Nest, and basically what you can do here is eat. There's like Subway and Starbucks and stuff, but also there's the Go Global thing here, which Norm will also be interested in. Like their office is in here, so yeah, and I think it's only building with like gender neutral washrooms, so awesome. Okay, and then once you go through here, you'll end up at the libraries. Okay, once you get here, there's either IKB here, there is a science building around here, and then it's the library over there, and the Nest, like the main entrance. And there are a few good shops in there, like food places. I feel like I'm only talking about food right now, but let's keep going on our tour. We're gonna go up the hill. This is Buchanan, so it's basically all the arts buildings. So there's Buchanan B, and I think there's Buchanan A, but honestly, none of my courses have been in Buchanan before. And I'm an arts major, so I just don't know how relevant these things are. And I have to show you what I mean by the confusing floors. This is Buchanan B, this is Buchanan Tower. And Buchanan D is like in there, but this is where your profs kind of exist if you're an art student. See, there's like level 1, and then there's like specific classrooms, and then there's like different blocks. So in order to get from one block to another, it's like this kind of wizardry I still don't understand, so I'm not going to talk much about it. So that's why I say don't fear like the macro stuff, because it's easy to find this building, but once you get here, it's like, how the heck do I get anywhere? So that's just my 5 cents. You should find a way. This is Main Mall, and it's like literally called Main Mall because it's like the main street that you would have all your classes on. And that building there, I've had classical studies in, so I want to say these are more like classical arts, like English and stuff. And that building as well. And then once you go further down that way, it's the Rose Garden. Over here you have Walter C. Corner Library, which I told you is a bit stoic to study in. But you get a great view of IKB, which is on this side. And I feel like every tourist comes to take photos here, and then at the Rose Garden. Then you get here, near the middle of Main Mall, your Sauder Experience. So this place also has food, but it's more like Timmy's and like Triple O's and stuff, if you're into that kind of stuff. Here is where you could get it. Once you see the water fountain, which is easier to spot because it's 99% of the time under construction, except for right now, but water never comes out of it. You're kind of at the middle ground. As you go down, you will have engineering building and forestry, which I'll point out a bit later. Okay, so you know you're at the engineering section when there's this block with an E. Usually there are no children here, but they paint it different things like every week, I swear to God. And it's kind of fun seeing like what they paint. I think my favorite has been the Black Lives Matter one last summer, or the Indigenous one a few weeks ago. This here is the Forestry Building, and there's just a ton of student residencies down here. So you would find more of that than school places, like academic buildings. Okay, so this is the Psych Building. I still don't know the name of it. And then this is Swing Space on the right. then there's a bit of a shortcut if you want to get back onto Main Mall. You can actually go up here and then just turn left and zigzag around the building if you're lazy, but there's also the main road down here. So my battery's about to die, but I just wanted to say, as you go down straight on, if you head towards north on West Mall, you're gonna end up finding Asia Study buildings to the left and then geography buildings to the right. That's about it. And then once you go back up, you'll go to the mall. But yeah, this is the end of the tour just because there's no more battery and I didn't bring a backup one. I think it's because it's super hot out today and we took like 400 photos. But yeah, watching. I hope you have a fun time getting around UBC.